Sure. Here's my invitation. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another movie review. And this time, the good news is I have actually acquired myself a pod to hold my camera phone on. Now you can actually see it, but I can use both my hands now. And this time I decided to review another great action-adventure film from the 90s, and this is True Lies. True Lies is an action-adventure / romantic comedy that came out in 1994 by director James Cameron and is Arnold Schwarzenegger's third outing with him after working on the first two Terminators. Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Harry Tasker, who is a happily married man and a father. His wife, Helen, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, thinks he basically works as a traveling business salesman, where deep underneath, he actually works as an undercover agent for a secret agent for an undercover agency, working across the globe to literally stop terrorism across the planet. And Helen obviously doesn't know that. So Harry is actually very good at his job, and his partner, played by Tom Arnold, comedian Tom Arnold, who, literally every major hero character has to have a sidekick, and he's literally like the sort of like the hype guy or sidekick, perfect sidekick for him. So honestly, and with that, of course, when it comes to Tom Arnold, probably one of his better films, probably one of the best movies he ever appeared in. That is until Harry starts to think that Helen is secretly having an affair behind his back, so he begins to use his skills from the agency to basically track her down and infiltrate to find out whether or not she is having an affair. While that's going on, a main terrorist named Salim Aziz, played in the film by actor Art Malik, is secretly using connections to basically acquire nuclear weapons to drop and blow up major cities across the entire U.S., basically to show that his terrorist organization literally is a world power. So, pretty much cut and dry. You know, it's an action film where the hero has to stop the terrorists pretty much from causing global destruction across the planet, or in the U.S., more or less. Well, yeah, like I said, Harry, also at the same time, Harry is using his secret agency skills to essentially infiltrate Helen and try to find out whether or not, she secretly is having an affair behind his back. And he finds out that she actually has been longing for action, all because Harry is often all the time away, but she actually wants to, live life to the edge, more or less. So he gives her that opportunity. Well, yeah, all that is said, and all that is nice and all that, but honestly, the movie actually holds up pretty well. I mean, it has some good action scenes, and yeah, the comedic elements are there too, and it's interesting because, around the time True Lies happened, Arnold Schwarzenegger did actually have a bit of experience working in comedy, since, he had worked with Ivan Reitman a couple of times on the films Twins and Kindergarten Cop. And the same year True Lies came out, he made the film Junior, which I still have yet to see. But Twins and Kindergarten Cop are both excellent comedy classics. And, well, yeah, classic. I consider them classics because Arnold did say Kindergarten Cop was one of his favorite films that he ever appeared in. So, this True Lies, I would say, out of all the films that Cameron directed, is definitely the one that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb because out of all the films he made, it has like the most amount of comedy of any movie he had ever done. Something he's obviously, not really known for. Although, yeah, there are comedic elements in some of his films, like, the Aliens has some comedic humor, so does The Abyss. Terminator 2's got humor. But True Lies, man, it is chock full of humor. Almost throughout the entire movie. Even when the action kicks in, the humor is thrown in. So this is like an essential action comedy for what it is. So whether or not James Cameron deliberately did it that way, either way, but it does work out very well. It doesn't act like a parody. it acts on its own. It literally, tries to be its own movie. We do have films out there that are parodies of action films, like Hot Shots Part 2 is a parody of Rambo, and its predecessor, Hot Shots, is parodying Top Gun. So those are action parodies. This movie is not a parody of any film. It's actually an action film that just tries to be humorous at the same time, and it actually works. While the film didn't get the criticism like the positive criticism like Aliens or the Terminator films or The Abyss received, the movie still got some decent reviews by critics when it debuted. Some of the harsher criticism came from the fact of how its female characters were treated, especially Helen, because Harry uses his secret agent skills to infiltrate her and basically, go undercover to figure out if his wife is having an affair, which kind of makes him a bit of a creeper in a way. And also, the film did receive criticism for its treatment of Middle Easterners, especially the fact that the main actor that played Salim, Art Malik, is actually from Pakistan. So that did receive a lot of criticism there, more or less. And after the film came out, and James Cameron actually did plan a sequel, but sort of canceled it around the time 9/11 happened, when the events of September 11th happened. So the sequel ended up getting canceled. From what I've heard, there still is a sequel in development. I think it might end up being a TV series. Possible. I'm not sure. I've just barely looked into it, so. True Lies was released in theaters in 1994 by 20th Century Fox, which no longer is a standalone company since, Disney acquired them recently, so now it's 20th Century Studios instead of Fox now. Yeah, no longer with the Fox logo, now it's 20th Century Studios. Yes, I actually am ready to talk about this Blu-ray release of the film, which, by the way, is actually a fan release, because True Lies has yet to receive a proper Blu-ray by an actual studio. I'm really still holding out for Disney or hopefully Shout Factory to pick this release up. There are several, fan-made Blu-rays available for True Lies. There was a Spanish version that came out overseas, which I think is all region, and that one's the easier one to come by. This one I have right here is very rare, and it's an extremely rare release of the movie. But nonetheless, it's actually nice to finally see True Lies in an actual high-def format, which is really good. Whoever made this Blu-ray release of the film, you deserve a handshake and a full-on bear hug for this, because this release is outstanding. Inside the case here are 2 discs. Now, this is the coolest thing about the movie. Yes, both discs actually contain the same movie, but in different formats. The first disc here has the film in an open matte widescreen format. The second disc has the film in its theatrical ratio of 2:40 by 1, which is the standard ratio the movie came in. And the open matte, basically, imagine the 2:40 by 1 Panavision format that you normally see, and the bars are gone. They take away the bars. So basically, it feels like you're watching the movie almost in IMAX format, pretty much. And I honestly wish that more studios would actually consider doing releases like this, where they would take away the bars and literally, show the entire film. But then again, at the same time, it might also reveal, equipment or glitches that they have no intention of popping up on the screen. So it could be an issue. But for the most part, I'm impressed with the fact that you're given 2 different versions of the film to watch. And no, the movie on both discs are identical. It's the same exact movie, but the only difference is this disc has the film in an open matte format, which is, like I said, a really neat idea for some movies. True Lies has been released on DVD by 20th Century Fox, which is the DVD that came out in '99, and yeah, it's kind of aged. The image is in non-anamorphic, which is the format I talked about when I did my Abyss video, which is what the DVD was presented in. Even though the DVD had the THX logo on the disc, but unfortunately the image was non-anamorphic. The video and audio in that disc was really good. The only downside is the disc lacked the extras, except for a trailer. Although the main menu, the DVD menu, was pretty cool though. Fortunately, the Blu-ray here that I have of True Lies doesn't have an animated menu. It's just a simple freeze-frame image. So let me talk about the video quality on this disc. Honestly, the video actually looks pretty good. It looks like whoever made this took the DVD transfer and basically just converted the transfer to 1080p HD audio. And honestly, it looks really good. I mean, since this is literally the best I've ever seen True Lies ever look, and I'm really impressed. I decided to watch the Panavision version, although I did check out the open matte version, and it actually looks pretty good. It does feel like you're watching an entirely different movie since you can see more information on the top and bottom of the screen, which is pretty cool. But yeah, for the most part, it looks really good. So I would say for this Blu-ray, for this fan-made Blu-ray of True Lies, the video gets I'd say it gets a solid 4 out of 5. Yeah, it's not perfect. I mean, it basically retains the image from the DVD version, just up converted to 1080p. So honestly, it's a pretty solid release. I'm impressed. Now the audio, unfortunately, according to the back here, it's only in 5.1 Dolby Digital. Although it says here on the disc it's in DTS HD, which I don't know. Because I checked out the audio track. Yeah, it's only in English 5.1 Dolby Digital. Yeah, there's also the English Dolby Surround track too, which is nice. And you get a German 5.1. But honestly, the 5.1 track on the Blu-ray sounds pretty good. It sounds very good. I'm impressed. So it sounds much better than it looks. So I would say out of 5 stars for the audio here, I'd have to give it a 4.5, because even for a 5.1 Dolby Digital track, I'm impressed that it sounds that good. As for the bonus features, well, surprisingly, they actually loaded this disc with a decent amount of material. Yeah, as I've said, it comes with the original open matte version of the film with more picture quality, presented uncut. Maybe there is extra footage in here. I don't know. I like I said, I watched the Panavision version. Maybe there is more material in this one. I don't know. But yeah, and all the bonus features are on the open matte disc. The Panavision disc unfortunately does not have anything. Just that version of the movie. And believe it or not, there's actually a decent amount of material to be found on here. A making of, some B-roll featurette, 1995 promo featurette, segment from Discovery Channel's Movie Magic. There's also cast and crew interviews with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, and director James Cameron, and the film's theatrical trailer. So it's actually nice to actually see a release of the film, even if it's a fan release, to actually come with bonus features on it. So honestly, this is a pretty solid Blu-ray release. Like I said, whoever made this, you deserve a pat on the back. And if Disney or other studio, hopefully they do a release of the film here, I strongly hope that they actually do I hope they do a proper release of the film one day. I mean, if they put it out again, I'd definitely buy it. Yes, where did I get this release of the film? I got it off eBay. I actually bought it. Yeah, I bought it on eBay. Unfortunately, it was the only copy I found. So, as I've said, there is a Spanish Blu-ray of True Lies available. I think you can get it for around somewhere around $20 to $25 on eBay. I think you can find it on Amazon too. So, that version is all region compatible, I believe. I think this one is too, or either way, it actually played in my... Yeah, it is. It says here on the thing it's all region compatible. Thankfully, though, it played in my PS3 just fine. I didn't have any glitches. The disc didn't skip or anything, so it played perfectly fine in there. As for the movie itself, I would say out of 5 stars, I would give it a solid 4 out of 5. As for the extras on the disc, I would say probably 3.5 out of 5. Because there's actually a decent amount here, way more than what the DVD offered. So, as I've said, until Disney or Shout Factory puts out a really good release of the film, this one right here I'm going to hold on to for now. But as I've said, this is actually a very well-made fan release of the movie. So either way, like I said, I'm impressed. There are some fans out there of the movie that actually do the best they can, and there are people out there that do put out movies like this. I mean, even The Abyss got itself a. Even though I've actually learned that The Abyss is going to get a 4K release sometime next year now. But hopefully that is true. Oh yeah, there's a couple other things I do need to talk about. True Lies, did it get nominated for any Academy Awards? Yeah, it received one nomination for visual effects, which it ended up losing to Forrest Gump, I believe. But it's funny because at the BAFTA Awards and at the Saturn Awards, it actually did win for the award for Best Visual Effects at both of those ceremonies, but not at the Oscars. Jamie Lee Curtis's performance was so well received, she ended up receiving a Golden Globe nomination and win for Best Actress, Musical or Comedy for the movie. And at the Saturn Awards in '95, she actually won Best Actress for the film, True for Here, and actually tied that year with Sandra Bullock for Speed. And James Cameron picked up his fourth Saturn win for Best Director on True Lies. He had won previously on Aliens, The Abyss, and Terminator 2, Judgment Day. He won the Saturn Award for Best Director for all three movies. This is his fourth win. So honestly, yeah, True Lies, like I said, it's an action film that holds up very well. It has a lot of good action set pieces. When it comes to the visual effects, most of them actually occur near the end when Harry takes over that fighter jet. That's where most of the film's visuals really come to play. But as an Arnold Schwarzenegger action film, it holds up very well. And I do enjoy the chemistry between Arnold and Jamie Lee Curtis. And, of course, a lot of people are like, when it comes to Jamie, everybody remembers that little erotic dance that she does in front of Arnold, even though she knows she doesn't know that's really him. But that's one thing everybody does remember from the movie. And some other things also include the amazing limo rescue sequence where Helen's in the out-of-control limo as it's careening toward a bridge that has been destroyed, and at the last second, he manages to grab her before the limo goes plummeting off the side of the bridge. Jamie Lee Curtis actually did that stunt herself, and she obviously was terrified to do it, but James Cameron literally insisted, well, how about this? I'll dangle out the window and hold the camera while you do that stunt. I don't know if it's something she'd ever do ever again, but still, it's pretty amazing. But overall, this is a fun action film, and if you've yet to see True Lies, the DVD, by the way, you can still get pretty cheap. But if you're really hoping to get a Blu-ray release, I would strongly suggest like I said, the Spanish version is all region compatible, so if you want to look for it, like I said, you can go to eBay and look it up. But as I've said, what I'm holding right here is an extremely rare copy of the movie. I looked everywhere all over eBay, so if I could find this version again, unfortunately it's not available. So this looks like it's just a one-of-a-kind release. So unfortunately. But, like I said, until studio release comes out, I'm going to hold on to this one for now. But if a studio release does happen to come out for True Lies, oh yeah, I'd definitely buy it again. But shouting out to the person that made this release, whoever you are, you deserve a strong pat on the back for this. This release definitely gets a strong recommendation from me. So, overall, highly recommended. I definitely give it 2 thumbs up. So, this concludes the presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, I have both my hands now I can use for whatever, so I'm actually glad this picking up this tripod was definitely worth the investment. So I got it for like about $15. It's actually definitely worth it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will continue to do more in the days to come. So until then, take care and be safe.